second topic, reflecting its growing and the regional international stature. Egypt participates in the group of the G7 meeting as a key voice of representing the priorities of aspiration of developing the nations. And to shed more light over this, we are joined in the studio by Dr. Ahmed Khattab, the professor of economics. A very good morning to you, Dr. Ahmed.
Good morning to all of you.
Economics expert.
Good morning to all of you, and it's my pleasure to be with you.
Thank you so much, and it's our pleasure. But dear viewers, let's see more details in the coming report, and we'll be right back to start our interview.
Shortly after he arrived in Evian-les-Bains, France for Tuesday's G7 summit, U.S. President Donald Trump said the U.S.-Iran deal will bring a lot of success. Trump is buoyed after Washington and Tehran
Sisi is visiting France at the invitation of French President Emmanuel Macron to participate in the 52nd G7 summit held in the French resort town of Evian-les-Bains from June 15th to 17th, 2026. The visit carries significant political and strategic implications. It reflects the distinguished level reached by Egyptian-French relations in recent years. It also highlights the importance of President El-Sisi's invitation to the summit as an esteemed guest from outside the group's core membership, which embodies Cairo's global standing. This participation marks Egypt's second historic attendance at the G7 forum, widely regarded as the board of directors of the world due to the global influence of its decisions and positions. President El-Sisi participation in such major international gatherings provides key opportunities for high-level meetings with world leaders who consistently value dialogue with Egypt's leadership due to the influential and respected role in regional and international issues. Since 2014, Egyptian-French relations have undergone a remarkable qualitative leap, transitioning from traditional diplomatic cooperation into a robust, multidimensional strategic partnership. This progress is anchored by deep mutual understanding between both heads of state, yielding aligned views on critical regional and international issues, particularly those concerning the Middle East and efforts to restore regional stability.
Welcome back, dear viewers, and to shed more light, as we said, Dr. Ahmed, starting our interview, what's the importance of President Sisi's participation in the summit of the G7 in this particular time?
Yes, first of all, let me, by the name of all Egyptians, send a special thanks to President of France, Emmanuel Macron, for the great and VIP invitation to our President Fattah el-Sisi in order to participate in G7 summit in France. Our President Sisi will send a lot of message in this summit, not only to Middle East but also to all over the world, and to all the key leader of the participant country in this G7, like President Trump, President of USA, President of Germany, President of Italy, President of Canada, and the President of European Union, and some all the key leader participated in this G7 summit. Egypt is a country of peace, and Egypt aimed to make a settlement of all the war related to Iran and USA in the Middle East, and the very important of national security and stability in the Strait of Hormuz and in all the GCC country and in all the Middle East country. This also will focus on the economic impact of the stability, because we connect the relation between diplomatic stability and also economic stability in the Middle East. Once the Middle East and all GCC country will be politically stable, it will reflect it 100% to the economic situation of all the Middle East country, and especially all the GCC country, especially Saudi Arabia and United Arab Emirates, Kuwait, Iraq, and the Emirates and Qatar, because Egypt have a very solid relation with this key country in the GCC, and we have a strategic participation in the economy and in the diplomatic also, and we we try all the time to support the national security of this country, and we focus on the very fast reopen of the Strait of Hormuz, because it's affect also the income of Suez Canal corridor and the Suez Canal logistics area, and the more stability in this area will lead to more economic progress to all the country in the Middle East and all the Arab region.
Well, Dr. Ahmed, also what were the most prominent the political messages convened by Egypt invitation to participate in this summit?
Yeah, once President Emmanuel Macron invited President Sisi to participate in this G7 summit, it will reflect the very important role of Egypt as a key country in North Africa, yes. Egypt as a key country in the Arab region and also in the Middle East. Egypt all time play a very effective role in order to make a settlement of all the crises take place in the last especially 2 years. If we go back for another 1 year, also the crisis between Israel and Gaza and Hamas, and Egypt tried to stop the war between Israel and Hamas, and now Egypt also support Pakistan in order to finish this problem with the cooperation of Qatar and Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates and all the key countries in the region. And also Pakistan do a wonderful achievement with Iran in order to accept stop fire and take the diplomatic way, and also reopen of the Strait of Hormuz, because it will lead to reduce the prices of oil and the gas or all fuel, and this will lead to more progress in the economy, and will lead also the airplane ticket to be decreased by at least 40%, and this will lead to more progress to all Egyptian businessmen and all Arab businessmen to visit each other and make a lot of financial and investment agreements.
Yes, Dr. Ahmed, also what are the most prominent regional issues that Egypt is expected to raise in the summit?
Yes, in the summit will focus mainly in the stop of the war between Iran and USA, and also this is one of the most pressure key element affected President Trump to make a hurry up of all this agreement before he go to G7, because in G7 all the key country affected negatively by the increase of the oil and the gas or all fuel prices, like for example Canada and the UK and France and Germany, and this will lead to more market depression and increase in the inflation rate of all the prices in Europe. And all the leader of this key country will ask President Trump when you will stop this war, and so because of this President Donald Trump make agreements of stop the war between Iran before this G7 by only 2 working days, and this is a great news to all of us, and we will discussing what after the stop the war between Iran and USA. We hope more progress in this country, because Iran, as we listen from USA and from the key speakers of Iranian people also, Iran will stop the nuclear power, and this is one of the most problem between USA and Iran. Once Iran stops the nuclear power, and a lot of diplomatic way related to this fight will take place in the coming 2 months, so this will transfer us to another step in what about the stop the war. All the GCC country need to invest more and more in order to have more income from the oil and the gas export, especially Iran in need to maximizing the export of oil and the gas, because Iran have a great reserve of oil and the gas, and all the key countries in the world, for example like China, like Europe and like Germany, in need of oil and the gas, and so stability also of oil and gas prices will lead to more progress not only in Egypt market but also in Europe market and in USA market, and on all over the world will affect it positively. Now price of fuel will decrease, so we have more progress in stock exchange, we have more stability in the price of US dollar against all many different foreign currency, stability in the price of gold, and this will reflect 100% positively to the market. Inflation rate will be decreased, and the growing rate of the key countries in the world will increase, and this will help us in Egypt in order to be open and market for more foreign direct investment, especially in New Suez Canal corridor and the New Suez Canal logistics area and in the Alamein area and the new capital city also, because Egypt today is ready 100% to accept more foreign direct investment investment from all over the world.
Yes, Dr. Ahmed, how does Egypt present reflect Cairo's regional and international standing?
Yes, Egypt today will play a very effective role internationally, because Egypt already have a lot of diplomatic communication with all GCC countries. In the same time, we have diplomatic solid relation with key country in Europe, like France, for example, Italy, Germany, and also we have a solid relation with USA. Special President Trump in all time send a special secretary with CC because he have a great wisdom and we have a very strong military force, and this is a very strong military force which is reflected 100% to the strong economic situation, because we have the ability to protect our border and we have the ability to protect our investment project, especially in New Capital Nation City and New Alamein City, in New Suez Canal Corridor, and all over in every government in Egypt. We are able to invest more and we are able to protect our investment from any threats, even it's internally or outside threats also. In the same time, we try all time to increase the bilateral relation between the key country, and we promote the relation to be strategic relation. Today we have strategic relation with France, we have a strategic relation with USA, and we have a strategic relation with Germany, and a lot of also key country in Africa. So Egypt play a very effective role because Egypt connect Africa with Europe through the Suez Canal Corridor and the Suez Canal area, and through the connection also in the Mediterranean Sea and the Red Sea. So the very strategic location and the very strong wisdom of our President Sisi lead Egypt to play a very effective international role, and because of this, all the G7 summit and G8 summit, all this summit invite President Sisi, and this is reflected 100% to Egypt as a key country in Middle East and in North Africa.
Well, Dr. Ahmed, how do the G7 countries view Egypt's mediation efforts in the regional crisis? In your point of view?
All GCC is a G7 country, President of Canada, President of France, President of USA and Italy, President support Egypt in order to be more stable economically, and support Egypt by investing more and more foreign direct investment in Egypt. We already have a lot of investment from Germany, for example. We have a lot of investment from France, and also we have a lot of bilateral relation related to trade, like RORO, between the RORO agreement between Egypt and Italy, for example, will support Egypt to make a lot of more export to Italy. Once we send our services or goods and services to Italy, we can transfer it through Europe by train, and this is lead to maximizing the volume and size of export day by day, especially in this file of petrochemical, in the file of fresh product and in fresh fruits, and day by day increase the volume and size of export to Europe and to all the key country, like also Canada, like China, like USA, and this is day by day increase our export volume to the world, and this is one of the very strategic objective for Egypt in the 2030 vision.
Yes, Dr. Ahmed, also how can Egypt leverage the summit to advance the cooperation on the renewable energy and the sustainable development?
Yes, the file of renewable energy is take place in Egypt after Egypt hosting COP27 in Sharm el-Sheikh especially. So a lot of mega investment in the green economy and the green ammonia take place, especially after we hosting COP27, because one of the main objectives of COP27 to invest more and more in green economy and green ammonia, and Egypt invest more and more also in the solar energy power, like Binban energy, solar energy power, and water sanitation also in Bahr al-Bar, and a lot of mega projects related to invest in the green economy, because the objectives today to invest in the green economy. Also in the field of industry, we invest more and more in electric car industry, and this is one also of the main mega project related to the green economy.
Yes. How important is the climate finance for developing countries in the summit's agenda.
Yes, developing country and or especially like Egypt, for example, and a lot of key countries in Africa in need of financial support from International Monetary Fund, from financial support and financial loans from World Bank and from African Bank. All this international institution should support the growing country like Egypt to invest more and more in infrastructure. We invest already more and more in infrastructure, but we still need to invest another more money in this project, because once we are ready in the fight of infrastructure, we will be hub for more foreign direct investment. And also we should spend more and more in green economy, like you said before, and this should spend more and more in the industry field, because industry field will lead to more progress to Egypt, especially in the field of export, because Egypt connected Africa with Europe, and Egypt have raw material, surplus raw material. Once we transfer this raw material to final goods and service, so we maximizing the profitability and we increase the income of Egypt instead of make export of the raw material. And this is one of objective also of Sisi send it to all the African countries, especially when he is the leader of African Union in 2019. And I think on all international summit like G7 summit, Sisi will focus on the growing country, and the growing country in need for more, to borrow money and to need in foreign direct investment from the key country like Germany, like France, like USA, to invest more and more in the green economy, to invest more and more in infrastructure, in education, in building new community, especially related to investment, because this is also value added to Egypt, in order to also have a program exchange in the field of education, in the field of health care, in the field of tourists. Egypt is a hub now in tourist sector, so we are in need to invest more and more, especially in North Costa and in Sharm el-Sheikh, Hurghada and Marsa Alam. And in Sokhna also we have, especially after we opening the Grand Museum in Egypt, Egypt now key leader in the field of tourists, and we still in need to invest more and more in resort and on hotel building hotels.
Absolutely, yes. Also, to what extent are the developments in the Middle East expected to dominate the discussions between President Sisi and the G7 leaders?
Yes, President Sisi will participate in this summit as a key leader of Egypt first, and also one of the best leaders in the Middle East country. So when he speak not only about Egypt but also about all Middle East country. And President Sisi read 100% and know everything about the problem and the challenge faced the Middle East country. So when he speak not only by the name of Egypt, by the name of Africa, by the name of Middle East, and by the name of Egypt, but the mutual trade and the mutual diplomatic relation between Egypt and the key country in the Middle East were also discussing in this G summit in France, because Sisi, when he speak about stability, he speak about stability not only in Egypt but also in Middle East. He speak about national security. He speak about protecting the border of every country in Egypt. Take care of Egypt now, protect the border between Egypt and Libya, between Egypt and Gaza, between Egypt and Sudan. And this is a very high cost paid by the Egyptian military force. At the same time, national security of the area were reflected 100% to the stability in Egypt. For example, once the Strait of Hormuz closed, the income of Suez Canal reduced by 60%, and this is what affect also the Egyptian economic stability. Compensation to Egypt should be paid by Iran, should be paid by USA, for example, but at the end, Egypt should take compensation, because our trade affected by this war, and also reshape the GCC stability, and discussing the GCC stability after the ending the war between USA and Iran should also discussed, because once the GCC country will be reopened again after this war, I think this key country in GCC in need of help of Egypt in order to go back to the growing rate as before this war, because all the growing rate in United Arab Emirates decreased, and also especially in Kuwait, especially in Saudi Arabia, and all this key country in need of Egypt support in order to go back again as a most growing country in the area, because all GCC countries like Qatar and like United Arab Emirates and Saudi Arabia have already a strategic relation with Egypt, and Egypt will support this country, especially after the war, and we should try to open a new diplomatic channel with Iran. Absolutely, in order to have more stability in the area, because once we strengthen the relation with Iran diplomatically, it will reflect also economically, and it will open the gate for more trade and cooperation in trade and diplomacy in the coming 2 or 3 years by maximum. And I hope Iran also will look to all GCC country as a friend's country, not enemy country, and they try to make a stabilization and the strong the bilateral relation also, like because it's effective after this war. And this is and I am here to send a message to the leader of Iran: please be Muslim and please be friendly with all the Arab countries, especially all the GCC country and Egypt, especially because it's the leader country in the area.
Dr. Ahmed Khattab, thank you so much for joining us and commenting on this important topic. Thank you for joining us. And dear viewers, a short break and we'll be right back to continue our breakfast show, so stay tuned.